Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for the Bhakti Shastri class on Saturdays. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll immediately start with Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Mritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi पाश्चातदेशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for joining in. And firstly, I would beg forgiveness from all the devotees for not conducting the class past 2 weeks. There were really some genuine reasons for not conducting the class uh, as such, but I'll try my level best to not cancel the classes and be regular with these classes. So we had completed 16.9 and we're going to go on 16.10. So just give me a minute. So in 16, the 16th chapter is named as the divine and the demonic. And this 16th chapter, if you see the whole flow, where Krishna is actually talking about the divine qualities and the demonic natures. So initially, Krishna spoke the positive aspects or the divine qualities of uh, of people, or those who are suras. Suras means जो भगवान के सुर में सुर मिला के चलते हैं. They are called suras. They carry the same mood as the Supreme Lord. And the asuras are completely opposite. They are completely rebellious people. They don't want to follow Krishna. They don't want to abide by the laws set by Krishna. And mostly they are guided by passion and ignorance as such. So we had completed the 9th shloka. And oh, is it? I did start the 17th chapter.
Mataji, as far I remember, you completed 16th already.
Yes, Mother.
You
17
started.
also. 17 also was complete.
17th was not complete. I think first initial shlokas you took. Exactly, I don't remember. I think one or two shlokas you had taken that last class. I don't remember exactly.
Give
The
me,
exact.
give me
17
1
is
minute.
taken,
I'll
Mataji.
immediately get it. Just give me 1 minute, okay? Just give me a quick moment. See, 2 weeks passed and I really don't know what exactly is happening. The last class that we conducted was on, let me check my mobile. I'll immediately know because of the, I'm sorry, dear devotees. Sorry, so sorry. Yes.
22nd of February was the last day.
Okay, we completed on the 2nd and we have to start the 3rd, right?
Yes, Mataji, you started the first two shlokas, 17th chapter. We had little time and you started last.
Okay. We'll just start with the 17th one. Then why is my screen
No,
freeze?
Mataji, 1 minute. Mataji, 16th chapter up to 17th sloka you have taken, Mataji.
Maybe Prabhuji, Sushil Prabhu, you must have missed if Sucharita is saying because she.
Mataji,
29 was there in
I
the class,
remember
Mataji.
it's 17th chapter. You finished 16. Then you said that should I start 17? And everybody of us, we said yes. Then you started 17, but only few shlokas you could take. I think the first one was over with the explanation. The second one was half.
Okay.
But we didn't have any class in March month, as far as I remember.
So
22nd of February was the last class we had.
yeah, and I sent
And
22nd February recording also, right?
yes, Mataji. Yes,
And
Mataji.
after 22nd, I have not taken any class.
Yes, Mataji. Then it is up to 16 chapter, 17 sloka was covered.
Oh.
Hare Krishna Mataji, my too also I have till 16th chapter, 17th sloka only.
Yes, because I still remember that I have not discussed this ahankaram, balam, darpan, kamam, krodham, samashritam, Krishna's treatment to the demoniac, all these things I really don't remember that I have taught. And the three gates to hell, that also I haven't taught. Let me just, let's check the last video that I had, because the last class was on 22nd of Feb, right? No, not 22nd of Feb, just a sec. Yeah, the last class was on 22nd Feb.
Mataji, on your YouTube channel, you upload videos, no? When was the last you uploaded for the 16th? Or then you will get to know maybe.
Yeah, I'm just actually checking that only because I haven't deleted it from my system also. I haven't deleted that from my system.
Mataji, on 22nd, you have sent us the last video, 5 to 17, chapter 16, text 5 to 17.
Yeah, text 5, yeah. उसके बाद मैंने वीडियो भेजा ही नहीं है because I did not conduct only any classes after that, dear.
There
Sucharita.
were no classes after that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have not conducted only any classes after that, like as such. And if you'll remember, I had some technical issues that day and I took it from my mobile. Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
The
Yes.
last shloka was 17th shloka. Yeah, on the YouTube channel also it's showing that it's on the 17th as such. So that is there. Okay. Fine. So I think we'll start with the 18th. Because I knew I did not start the 17th chapter at all. I'm like, it was there in my subconscious mind that I still have to complete 16 and then 17 and how much time will even the 18th chapter will take. So give me 1 second. Lakshminarayan Prabhu thinks that we have completed the 17th chapter, but I'll tell you why we have not completed even the 16th. Because 28th February, I remember I did not take a class. 8th March, I was supposed to take a class, but then I cancelled it last minute because I was not able to reach by train. My train was late that time on 8th of March. And then we have today. So then we have not even completed even the 16th chapter as such. Okay, so that's the proof that we are still on the 16th chapter as such. Like, so, okay. After the hectic Gaur Purnima festival, you want to say something?
Mataji, when your phone went wrong, did you record that class?
Yes, I have uploaded that class also on the
Okay,
YouTube.
okay, that was the one. Okay.
Okay. So,
Mataji, I'm sure you have taken up to 16 chapter, 17 sloka, because it is my habit to write down the translation of the sloka when you are writing. So I am having, if you want, I'll show it on the screen.
oh, no, Prabhuji. We believe you, Sushil Prabhu. We absolutely believe you. So, okay. So, I have some notes with me made for the 16.7. So let's start. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Mritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So after explaining all the destination of these demonic people. So we saw the last time that the destination of these demonic people is only hell. But then what is these demonic people ka nature? What is their nature in the sense that what is their vritti? What is their thinking? Or how do they behave also? So Krishna says that आत्मसंभाविताः स्तब्धा धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञस्ते दम्भेन अविधिपूर्वकम्. He says that self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. So, Atma Sambhavita Stabda. So they are always, self-complacent, and they are always Stabda. Stabda means they don't care for any authority. They think that they themselves are authority. So, and he says that, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. And he says, Dhana Mana Madanvitaha. See, Madanvita over here, what Prabhupada is saying is that Mada means delusion, and Anavita means they're absorbed in delusion. But they're absorbed in delusion of what? Then Dhana and Mana. Dhana means wealth and Man means prestige. So they're completely absorbed in Dhanamana. See, if you see, even in the 10th chapter also, Krishna had used this word, Dhammana Madanvitaha. So, they just catch the externals where there is no substance. So, if somebody is catching some externals, right? So, or somebody is, speaking a lie, or somebody is trying to cheat somebody, somebody is trying to divert somebody is going on a straight path, but they'll try to divert people to the wrong path. So they are caught in some externals, but there are no substance with those externals. So there is only bluffing. and there is like, there is predicament. So he says that yajante dambhena avidhi purvakam. So yajante means what? That these people, these demonic people, they might do some worship or some yagya or some sacrifices, but they will do it only for namesake. And then when he's saying dambhena means what? That out of pride, out of arrogance. And see, one is dambha means that one does not have any inner substance. अंदर कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन बाहर इतना शो ऑफ करेंगे. Like अंदर होगा गरीब व्यक्ति. He'll be inside very much, he must be poor inside. But outside he will show that I am a karodpati. I am a very rich man. Right? So show of business. And when they wanted to do this sort of things, then they will do it, but they will do it avidhi purvakam. They do not know what are the right rules and regulations. They will follow anything haphazardly. They'll follow something whimsically also. So, because why? They are not interested even in spiritual advancement. And they don't believe that, okay, these Vedas or these scriptures that are there, they are, the word of Krishna. And they don't care also for all the rules, vidhis, or the rules and regulations. They just want to do some religious rituals because they want some prestige, some respect in the society. And that is why Krishna is saying all this is avidhi purvakam. So see, when he's saying that mada anvane yajante nama yagne te dambhena avidhi purvakam. So over here when we say nam yagna, okay, over there they're doing only name only. But for for a genuine person or for devotees, the Vedas or the scriptures are telling us to do nam yagna. But what they are doing? They are doing yagya for nama, for name only. We have to do nam yagna. Every day morning when we wake up, we do nam yagna. We are chanting, and that chanting of the holy name is entering into our ears. So this is like a sacrifice every day morning that we do. So that is why when they are doing yagya only for name, then they are completely losing their sense of purpose in life. And that is why religion has become their face life. Face life means what? कि जो बाहर दिखता है, whatever is being seen outside, right? And not faith life. So faith to lift for them. So for us, religion is that it will help me increase my faith in Krishna, and it will help me to even uplift myself from the most degraded, level of life. The most degraded level of life is like an animal life: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. This is most degraded. So, of course, sometimes they even take to renounced order of life because, okay, in renounced order, everybody, will like, Ashirvad Dunga, everybody will do Dandvat Pranam to me, and it will give me some prestige, and my false ego will be, pumped. And, I will feel more proud that I am a sannyasi in the renounced order. Inside, we also know what he must be doing with his uncontrolled senses. So they're not just ruining themselves, but they are ruining even the reputation of the sannyas ashram. And they are living very hypocritically. Now see, if you see what we are seeing on even in the news, different babas of different ashramas, and how much the sannyas order got defamed in between when some Baba, he went into jail. There were 2, 3 Babas who went into jail. Now, when the common public is seeing that this renounced order of life or this particular sannyasi or this Baba or so-called Baba, he's doing like this, means what happens? People generalize. If one Baba is like that, all the Babas are like that. So what is happening is they are ruining the reputation of that ashram also, the sannyas ashram. So that's pretty dangerous as such. Okay, let's go to the next. So, of course, if they are going to behave that way, then what will be the further results of these demonic activities? That's what Krishna is saying in the next shloka. He's saying that Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham ja sanchitam mam atma paradeheshu pradvishanto abhayasuyakaha. He says that bewildered by false ego. Because he said over there, dambhena, right? Dambhena avidhi purvakam. Because he is bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger. The demons become envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the religion. One side they want religion, but avidhi purvakam. And on the other side, they blaspheme also the religion. So then he is saying that pradvishantaha. Pradvishanta means they want to blaspheme. And abhaya suyakaha, because they are envious of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in one verse, Krishna is describing the various qualities present in the demonic people. If you see, ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham, samshritaha. And because they have taken the shelter of all these, and that is why what they do, they blaspheme. So when this ahankaram or this false ego or this false ego means only, person is very arrogant. He doesn't want to respect elders or youngers or equals or the Supreme Lord. So ahankaram, balam, darpam. So these demonic people are so ungodly that these demonic people, they delight in brandishing their strength, you can say. Brandishing means what? Brandishing means to, to brand themselves that, I have so much of strength, so they say brandishing their strength, and they brag about their power. Again and again, if you see, they will brag about their power. So if you see the politicians and all, mostly, they keep on doing all these. They keep on brandishing. हमारे पास ये है, हम ये कर सकते हैं, हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं, हमारे पास ये है, वो है, ऐसे करेंगे 5 साल में, all they'll go. And then bragging about their power. हमने 10 साल में इतना किया है और हम इतना करेंगे, हम ऐसा करेंगे, हम वैसा करेंगे, and all that. So they think that physical or this political power is the ultimate source of power, but they do not understand that there is a power higher than the physical or political power, and that is called the spiritual power or the divine power. And that is higher than all these powers, right? And that is why if you see, we devotees also, when we are praying to the Lord, हम अपने आप को निसहाय अवस्था में डालते हैं. We all the time put ourselves in a state where we actually try to give signals to Krishna, or we try to plead Krishna, or we try to beg Krishna on a daily basis that ekaki amar nahi mama bala. I have no strength, I have no power. Only your mercy can help me to come towards you. I need you, Krishna. I want to serve you, Krishna, but I don't have that attitude of the servant. I am completely having this attitude of the master. Sometimes, people behave as if they are Krishna's masters. But let's try to understand that I am a servant of Krishna and I want to serve Krishna very genuinely. I want to serve that, to understand that, yes, I am the servant of Krishna. And when I am doing any activity of devotional service, all the time that the servant attitude is there, but to understand that I am the servant of Krishna is very difficult to come to a point that, yes, I am the servant of Krishna and I am not independent, I am dependent on Krishna. So um, uh, these demonic people, they don't understand that there is a spiritual power or there is a divine power, you know, higher than all this. And that is why they are doing all this darpam. Darpam means uh, because, pride say, they say, I have such big, big bungalows and I have such big, big cars and, I have this post position and all that. So that's why they will not, till the time, the opposite of pride is humility. The opposite of ahankaram is, to understand that I am a servant of Krishna. Opposite of ahamkaram is actually, if you say dasatvam. Ahankar mein you have false ego, but dasatva mein you have true ego. And when you understand that you are the servant, or when we understand, of course, we understand that we are Krishna's servants, then that is our true ego and that is our true reality also, that I belong to Krishna and I am a servant of Krishna and I'm supposed to only serve Krishna and my life should be revolving only around Krishna. So Darpam is showing off. And then he's saying, Kamam Krodham cha Samashitam. So see, Kama and Krodha, Kama Krodha Parayanaha. So even in 16.12 we saw, that what are the thoughts when he gains these wealth and as such. So again and again, many times Krishna is speaking about Kam and Krodha. And Sama Ashritaha. So Shrita means actually Ashray, right? Taking shelter of. And so instead of taking shelter of Krishna, what they do is they are taking shelter of material things. And all these negative emotions, generally, shelter can be taken from physical to emotional and to spiritual, right? But physical is like, when there is a very heavy rain and we take shelter of a particular tree, or, you take up shelter of some home in somebody's house. So when I go there, basically I'm protecting myself, I'm protecting my body. So these, these shelters can protect me and can also provide me some comfort, externals. So they take shelter of these things. So their shelter is completely misdirected. किसका आश्रय लेना है? गलत चीजों का आश्रय लेते हैं. They take ashray of intoxication, they take ashray of gambling, they take ashray of wine and women. So the आश्रय या जहां पे वो shelter ले रहे वही गलत है. And then he's saying माम आत्मा para deheshu. So from here actually Krishna, is actually bringing Mam in this chapter. Till now, Mam has not come only. All these 17 verses, prior to this, but now it will come very prominently. They don't take ashray of me. Mam, mera ashray nahi lete hai. So, now Krishna has talked about divine and demonic qualities, but he's not talking about their relationship with him. So how are divine qualities related to Krishna? How are demonic qualities? So even if you look at these divine qualities, he has talked about bhakti as divine qualities. Because qualities which are talked about here in material quality is, abhijatasya bharatah. And then he's saying that, so when he's saying that, Mam Atma Para Deheshu. Then he's saying that I am present in their hearts. I am present in their hearts and other hearts also. So see, even if they have this envy and, blasphemy, envy is inside and blasphemy is, when it comes outside, verbally it will come outside. So, Srila Prabhupada actually, even when you say Abhijatasya Bharata, when, he's saying, Prabhupada is calling them all transcendental qualities. From, verse number 1st to 3, if you see, right? He's saying that these belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. And in the sense that this can help us move towards transcendence. These divine qualities will help us move towards transcendence or move towards Krishna. But divine and demonic are basically features of our material nature. At the spiritual nature, a soul is always devoted to Krishna. So that is why the soul cannot be demoniac. आत्मा कभी असुर नहीं हो सकती है क्योंकि आत्मा जो है वो सच्चित आनंद है. आत्मा is always सच्चित आनंद. That's why आत्मा cannot be demonic. So Krishna has talked about qualities in terms of varna and ashrama. And he has not talked about bhakti. He has not talked about the relationship of godly with him. The divine people and his relationship. Abhi tak he's not spoken. And similarly, he has not talked about the relationship of this demonic with him till now in this chapter. So, and now, like, when he's saying that abhaya suyakaha, and he's saying that pradvishantaha. So, pradvishanto means what? They're envious and they blaspheme out of envy. So now Krishna is coming to the main point over here. That their attitude towards these demonic people, or towards him, is very unfortunate. ये जो असुरी लोगों का एटीट्यूड कृष्ण के प्रति जो है वो बड़ा दुर्भाग्य एटीट्यूड है. The attitude is a very unfortunate attitude of demonic people towards Krishna. And the attitude is a very negative attitude. It is not a very positive attitude. See, as I said, that envy is inside. But blasphemy is when it is coming out as a verbal criticism. For example, we envy somebody. But then all of a sudden, when the balloon, becomes very big and is not able to hold on, then something pins, some external factor will pin, and immediately a verbal criticism will come up. So unreasonable, irrational, insensitive, and harsh words will come up, and that is called blasphemy. So now somebody might say that, okay, blasphemy is coming out, but then why is Krishna saying that mam atma para deheshu? So if you see in the 5th chapter, what does Krishna say? What is that? 5.9. Bhoktaram yagna sapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surida sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. He is saying that he is the well-wisher of all living entities. Like the last slok of the 5th chapter, he is saying Bhoktaram. He is the well-wisher of all Suridam Sarvabhutanam. And also in the previous chapter, he said that he is the heart of all the living entities. He is the heart of all the living entities, means only what? He is present in their hearts and the others' heart also. And again, in the 15th chapter also, he is saying that Sarvacha Samriti Sanvishta Matta Smritir Jnana Apohanam Cha. So, I am not only the well-wisher, but I am I am not only of the well-wisher of all, so I am even the well-wisher of the demonic people. But these demonic people, what are they? They are envious of me and they're blaspheming me. They are envious and they are envious of, in fact, all living entities, and um, uh, and they're envious of Krishna also. And they are envious of me, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, including them. Krishna is a well-wisher of even the demonic people. It's not like that he's only well-wisher of the devotees. So Krishna knows everything about, he says that, Vedaham samititani. He also knows what is best for us. So if you consider this world like a hospital, okay, and the least we can do is have some hospitable attitude towards the doctor or the doctors and not be hostile towards them. So he's saying that these people are envious towards Krishna. And if you see, what Srila Prabhupada says is that he puts a false argument against the existence of God and denies the spiritual authority. And if he's an enemy who might check the advancement of, his sensual activities, then he makes those plans to cut down by his own power. So sometimes people really don't care for anything except their own enjoyment. Baki sari duniya gayi bhaad mein. For my sense gratification, I am ready to devastate everything. I have nothing to do with anybody in this world. I have everything to do only with my own sense gratification. So then, sometimes if their desires are not fulfilled, or if something is not fulfilled, then they will, left, right, and center start killing people or start injuring people, or start some movement because their sense gratification is not satisfied. So let's start something, so that, my desires get fulfilled, my ego gets puffed up. And in this way, these demonic people, they actually blaspheme Krishna and the real religion. Okay, so let's go to the 19th shloka. Now, when these people behave in such a way, so what is Krishna's uh, attitude towards them, or how does Krishna deal with them? So Krishna says that Tan aham dvishatah kururan samasashreshu naradhaman shipami ajasram asubhan asurishva eva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence. कहाँ डालते हैं उनको? Material existence. And when he puts them into this material existence, where is he putting them? Into various demonic species of life. Demonic species, the very important word. He's putting them into some demonic species of life. So he's saying that Tan Aham, those people, and Samasarashu Naradhamaha. Samasareshu Naradhama. Naradhama means lowest of mankind. And then I'm putting them into, or I throw them into this material existence. And then he's saying that Ajashram Ashubham. Ajashram means for a very long time. बहुत लंबे समय तक, forever over here, Prabhupada is saying. And Ashubhan. And, for a very long time, they are living an inauspicious life. Asurishva eva yonishu, in the demonic species. So, when we say demonic, and previously I think I've discussed this, that when I say demonic, it's not just a species, a demonic species. ऐसा नहीं है, but it is also even the mentality of that person. What is the mentality of this person? Like, for example, Duryodhan. Duryodhan has a human body, but he was having demonic mentality to destroy. I want to destroy these people. I want to destroy this kingdom. I want to destroy, and I want to become powerful that way. But there are species also which are demonic. जैसे yakshas है, rakshasas है, or the daityas है, in the sense that it is normal in that body to have demonic mentality. कभी in human body, यह हो जाएगा कि sometimes the person will behave so nicely with you, but all of a sudden, where will he come and stab your back? You will never even realize. Just like, in an oasis, you become, you come in an illusion that there is water. But as you go near, then you don't find water over there. So he is saying that demonic mentality. But a normal रहता है इनको. Maro, kato, pito, just, all these guns and rifles and knives and what is it? See, even the doctors are demonic sometimes. Even the doctors are demonic sometimes. So sorry, I'm like, not to blaspheme that profession as such, because many times, the doctors are life-saving people. But there are some doctors, not all doctors. There are some doctors who are demonic. Why? Because there is no need of surgery, but they will force us to do surgery. There is no need of transplantation, but they will force us to do some transplantation because they want to earn some money. So I remember there are so many cases I can tell you of my own experience with my relatives or friends or my neighbors. And uh, sometimes when they come and they tell me, I said, hey, no, you are still young, you're just 35 years old. Why you want to go for a knee surgery? See, एक बॉडी होता है आपका जो ओरिजिनल कृष्णा ने जो क्रिएट किया है इज वन पीस. Now, the moment you do some surgery or external things, definitely it's going to, that part of that body will not be comfortable, right? For example, some of you all must have experienced that when you'll do a root canaling, your original teeth is your original teeth. But when you do that root canal, there is some minor discomfort in that part of the teeth, right? You remember? If somebody's gone for a root canaling, you'll realize this. Now, if you see for a major portion of your body, or either it's a knee or an elbow or a heart or a liver or a kidney, these are our original. And then you say transplantation. So sometimes, so then I remember that one of my neighbors, he had met with an accident. And one of the doctors, he told that no, abhi knee surgery jana. And then I was just generally talking to his mother. He's 35 years old. I was talking to his mother. Well, ऐसे ऐसे accident हुआ, doctor is saying knee surgery. And I was seeing that he was walking, थोड़ा ठीक ठाक he was walking. For example, you require a surgery means what? He won't be able to walk only at all. So then I said, no, 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 no. Surgery is not the option. You need to take a second opinion. So then I took the appointment of that doctor and I, spoke to the person concerned over there and I spoke to the doctor also because my brother had gone through 3 surgeries with the same doctor because my brother was a football player. So he used to seldomly have those ligament tears. So the doctor was very genuine or is very genuine at the moment also. So then, the appointment day he went. The assistant of the doctor is telling that nahi surgery karna padega. So the boy calls me that he's telling surgery. I said, no, you tell I want to speak to this main doctor only. Without speaking to the main doctor, I will not pay you also for what you have told me. So then they speak, to that management and he goes to the main doctor and the main doctor, he says, no need of surgery. I will give you some physiotherapy exercises and, I'll give you some other remedies as such. And you can skip this surgery because you're 35 and in the age of 35, your body recovers as such. And that's how he escaped surgery because I was very much sure that he does not need to go under any surgery. So imagine even a genuine doctor's assistant can also be, I'm not saying demonic, but he can, try to mint money as such. So like that, so many other professions, like the lawyer's profession, people try to, turn the truth into some false and criminal lawyers, they try to turn. So these all are, demonic mentality. So Krishna, if you see, mentioned in this Vibhuti chapter, the 11th chapter, that among the Daityas, I am Prahlad. So Prahlad, Vritrasur, they're all godly, but they are exceptions, right? And then he's saying over here that Tan Aham Dvishatah Pururan. Krishna says that I throw them. So now somebody might say that why is Krishna behaving like that I'm throwing? When you say throw them, like, means take diya. So how can we understand this? That's if we see, even in the other religions also, there are some eternal damnations. That is like, if you don't accept God in this life, then you're thrown in the hell forever. Even in the Christians, they have this. So, this verse is actually supporting that eternal damnation. That we have to understand everything from this context. That, okay, sometimes, you know, if you divorce that statement, divorce means you just give up on that statement. You don't want to consider it all. So then it will be very misleading. So then he's saying that Tan aham dvishatah kururan. So when he's saying that kururan means these people are mischievous, means cruel people, right? Cruel in the why now, okay, why is Prabhupada also actually translating this word as mischievous? Uh, Krishna is also mischievous, but his mischief is uplifting the devotees or uplifting the human beings or the living beings. है ना, कृष्णा भी बहुत मिस्चीवियस है, माखन चोरी किया एंड इधर से ये चुराया and उधर से वो चुराया एंड इधर गोपियों को सताया and उधर इधर इसको सताया and all that. These are all uplift, because when we will hear these activities, we will understand that yes, you know, our faith will be more and more towards Krishna. But with these people's mischief, then actually there is a loss to somebody's property, loss to somebody's life, right? Loss to somebody's psycho physical, emotions are also, lost. So there's a lot of loss over here. So Srila Prabhupada is translating this as Kururan, mischievous. So when, why he's saying like that? Because Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is like an eternal father. Okay. And from the father's view or perspective, how much terrible activities children do. So the father's point of view is that they are mischievous. They are not grown up as yet. छोटा बच्चा अभी तक बड़ा नहीं हुआ. They are small kids right now and they are doing this mischievous activities. Now, if a child wanted to do some mischievous activities, then the parent says that if you do this, you will never be allowed to come in my house. You get out from my house. So the emphasis of this statement is not that, you get out of my house and you never come back. The point is that please don't do like this, that I'll be forced to send you out of my house. So when Krishna is, speaking, that emphasis is that, okay, he will throw them into the hellish life or hellish planets or hell forever. The emphasis is that please don't do this. So when he's saying that I throw them forever in hell, Ajashram, Shipami, when he's saying. So that is from Krishna's point of view, is like, he's mischievous. So when Prabhupada is translating like this, it is the Bhava Anuvada of Krishna. Now see, Prabhupada can read Krishna's mind, like Rupa Goswami can read Krishna's mind, right? He can read that emotion, what Krishna wants to say in that particular shloka, or what is the intention that Krishna wants to convey, through that word. So only the acharyas can understand what is the real meaning, or what the Supreme Lord wants to say. Why? Because they are closely connected with Krishna. So when you say artha anuvad, it means is like a literal meaning, right? And or the semantic accuracy is preserved in that. So sometimes the semantics and the aesthetics, they have to be combined to gain a proper understanding. So if only semantics are given, right, but it will not lead to a proper understanding. So there are different theories of different meanings. Some people have ideas that words are like, pipeline, which, means the words are simply carrying the meaning, and we invest meaning in the words. But the other idea is words always have the meaning, and the meaning of the words are preserved in some dictionary. So we draw those words out from the dictionary and then we use them according to their meaning. See, many times if you need some words will be used only in a particular context. They cannot be used in some other context, right? And some words might have two meanings also, right? So if you see in English, okay, when I say sun, okay, the sound homophones, son is okay, my own son, mera putra. Or sun, sun means the sun planet, that way. So words are carriers of meanings. And these words contain meaning in themselves. And meanings are, inserted into them. And such. So, over here, when Krishna is saying that, it is like a combination of both. Certainly, of course, we cannot use any word and, invest any meaning in it. It's not like that. It won't work in that way. But yeah, the same words are not just the containers of the meaning. They are also even the carriers, the way something is spoken. Sometimes even the tone matters a lot. In what tone am I saying? So sometimes if I'm saying the same word in a sarcastic way, then, that person might not take it very seriously. But if I just straightforward, I say, it will be hitting to that person's heart. So that's what, this is what actually he's saying over here. And then even if you see in the 9th chapter also, Krishna had used this 9th chapter, I think. Api chetu suduracharo bhajante ma ananya bhak. है ना? और अपि चेतस असि पापेभ्य सर्ववेदेभ्य पापकृततमः. Sorry, that is, I think, 4.36. Sarvam papam. Sometimes very difficult. Api chedasi papebhya sarve bhaya papa krittamaha sarvam jnanam plavevenaiva vriji nama santarishyasi. So he's saying that even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. And then, Krishna, even in the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he's saying that sarva karmani api sadaha and kurvano mad vapashrayah. So whatever karma one might be doing, one actually surrenders to Krishna, taking shelter of him, and that person only can attain perfection. So the point is that we have to look at other places in the Bhagavad Gita also to clearly understand that what these verses are saying and what is the flow and what is the context also as such. So there is more expression of Krishna's displeasure, and there is some loving anger, or there is some little annoyance also. Why you annoying me, So the loving anger, Krishna's expression, sometimes of tough love. Sometimes, parents have to express tough love so that children learn that lesson that is intended. And that is why when Krishna over here, he is saying that tan aham dvishatah kururan. So because they are mischievous, Krishna is saying that these mischievous children, they should grow up. They should actually act maturely, and because they should act maturely, uh, uh, by not acting, immaturely, because if they're not acting maturely, then they're ruining their own lives. And even if you see, Prabhupada is also saying that, these demonic people, they are actually caste, they're always such demonic species of men are always are held to be always full of lust, always violent and hateful, and always unclean. The many kind of hunters in the jungle are considered to belong to the demonic species of life. And if you see these hunters who are there in the jungle, they are demonic. If you see Mrigari also, no? Mrigari, how he was? Mrigari used to kill animals half. मतलब उनको तड़पने के लिए छोड़ देता था, and he used to rejoice seeing them, struggling for life and death. So such demonic species they are put into. But somebody like Narad Muni, he comes and gives his association, then such hunters can. So these demonic people, these hunters, those who are living such insensitively, causing hurt to others, they are said to be demonic. And Prabhupada is talking about, two things. Demonic species in a physical form. He said that even hunters, biologically, they will be in human form. And even though they are in human form, they have demonic mentality. Like Duryodhan also had demonic mentality, right? So Prabhupada is, swing this word species over here. Not in terms of biology, but he's using in terms of consciousness. And that is how we have to understand this word species, not in a biological sense or as used in a normal, conversation over here. So, okay, let's go to the next 20th shloka. So again, yes, what is, Krishna has for such demonic people? It's continuing over here. How Krishna deals with them. He's saying, आसुरीं योनिमापन्ना मूढ़ा जन्मनि जन्मनि माम प्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यन्ति अधमाम गतिम्. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demonic life. O son of Kunti, such people or such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. You see, asram yonim apannaha mudaha. So, after attaining such asuri yoni, this mudha janmani janmani, this foolish person for many, many lifetimes, what happens? Mam aprapya eva kaunteya, without attaining me. What are they doing? When they are attaining that asuri yoni, and because they have attained that asuri yoni for many, many lifetimes, they are not able to attain me. Tato yatanti adhamam gatim. So this person will further go in more lower destinations. Adhamam gatim. और निचली योनियों में चला जाएगा. So here Krishna is saying that those people, he will go further and further away from me, or niche jayega. And that is as if, they keep, because the moment they keep misusing their free will, now they don't have to, misuse their free will, but they misuse, they have to suffer. So soon, of course, Krishna will talk about the hell also. And we have to understand that this Vedic concept of hell is different from the hell described in other religions, or in the other religions also, hell is considered to be a place of eternal torment. Once a person goes to hell, that person has to suffer in the hell forever, and that is, the other religions think that this person will suffer, but the Vedic understanding, is that this whole universe is considered to be like a university, and with so many classrooms, and hell is one of the classroom where it is definitely a difficult classroom, but the important thing is it is not a compulsory classroom. आपके पास choice है. We are souls and we can best experience happiness by loving and serving Krishna. And Krishna is personally coming up and he's looking up. And this Bhagavad Gita message that Krishna is giving, it is revealing that how compassionate Krishna is, how concerned Krishna is for the living entities, and how committed is he in his relationship with the jivas. And he is personally residing in our heart. He's working tirelessly for my elevation, my liberation. So Krishna is like the teacher in the school who is concerned for his students to be elevated, or to be promoted to the next standard or a higher standard, right? And he's concerned that, yes, if he's promoted to the next standard and if he's succeeded, but if some students, are determined that, no, I don't want to study, no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, they are thinking that they are doing a big favor on their parents. Krishna is the parent, I think, or the teacher. They're doing a big favor on their teacher by studying. Sometimes if you see, even I take some classes, some students, some day they don't want to give. Like for 2 hours, they won't be able to give even one answer to me. But the next day, they are able to give me 20 question answers in that 2 hours. So it depends, that sometimes children don't want to, they're determined, they don't want to study. Then what happens is, hell is not meant to cause them suffering. Hell is meant, to save us from the suffering. Somebody might wonder, how is it that it is saving us from suffering, right? And how is that if I go to hell, I'll be saved from some suffering? See, because as long as I'm disconnected from Krishna, I'm suffering. And the basic denominator of suffering is always there in the material world. Niche rehna. Because I am disconnected from Krishna, and because of this three vidatapaha, because of the janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, that is a basic suffering is always there in this material world. So the education or the knowledge that Krishna is giving us through Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, through these various systems of religion, is ultimately to help me come back to him. So when, this particular Atma or Jiva is trying to come back to Krishna, that time Krishna helps him. And that particular Jiva, he comes back. He becomes free from all those miseries. And now, if this particular Jiva or the soul does not come back, and they are defying Krishna for many, many lifetimes or many, many times and lifetimes, they will have to stay suffering in the material world. So just like a student, who is not disciplined, is rudely, disruptive in the class, then he maybe have to be punished. He has to be sent somewhere else where, there is a stricter discipline and punishment, where that purpose is not to just punish the student, but the purpose is that the student, he will come back to the class and behave more in a disciplined way. And he will study in a more disciplined way, and then he gets promoted. So if my actions don't have consequences, then the result would be that I have to suffer more and more. And as I will just keep on continuing with the cycle of birth and death. But as the action has consequences, then those consequences will remind me that, oh, for a very long time, I'm suffering. I don't want any suffering. Therefore, then this jiva or the soul, he starts reforming. And this soul becomes from this, dambamana, arrogance and all that. This soul will become more sober and humble. And the soul will start practicing devotional service. So whenever there are calamities coming in my life, try to understand that Krishna is trying to sober me. Krishna is trying to make me more humble. Why Kunti Maharani is telling that, give me more suffering. The meaning is that only, that please give me suffering so that I become more humble. I become humbler than the blade of grass. And of course, Kunti Maharani is a liberated soul, but she's trying to, she's trying to actually tell us also that when these calamities are coming, Krishna is trying to make me more sober. Krishna is trying to give me a signal that, hey, now the time come and surrender. I am only there for you. I am the only one and one for you. Please try to come and surrender to me. Sarva dharma parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Don't fear, ma suchaha. I will take care of everything. That assurance Krishna is doing. But what has happened is that I don't have faith in those words, because I don't have faith only in Krishna. Problem is of my faith. The root problem over here is I'm lacking faith. And how will that faith come? That faith will come only in the association of devotees. That is why Prabhupada is, so much of stress he's giving on the association of devotees. Come, and the whole idea of actually forming this whole morning program is to actually make us more sober, make us more dedicated towards Krishna, so that we can go back to Krishna. So, sometimes if the soul does not work or does not learn, his lessons, then Krishna gives him the harder way. And when Krishna gives him the harder way, the soul learns properly from Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. And when the soul takes this refuge of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, then his sufferings will come to an end. And if the soul refuses to do, then the alternate way is that he has to suffer in the cycle of birth and death. So either way, the important point is the soul can get liberated. And even through hell, the hell is like, classroom. And even in that classroom, it is a tough classroom. And as it is, that life is like a school, and the hard rock, they knocks me, all of us, and the hard knocks in my life, I learn from those. So similarly, the hell is a school of super hard knocks. But we are meant to learn. And that is why he's saying that Asurim yonim apannaha. So still if one goes to hell, he goes to some demonic situations, the super soul does not leave. The super soul is there in the heart of everyone. And the super soul is working to even redeem these people who have gone in hell. So, even the acharyas, right? So, Prabhupada is saying in it that it is known that God is all merciful, but here we find that God is never merciful to the demonic. It is clearly stated that the demonic people, life after life, are put in the wombs of similar demons and not achieving the mercy of the Supreme Lord. They go down and down so that at last they achieve bodies like those of cats and dogs. And then he's saying that it is clearly stated that such demons have practically no chance of receiving the mercy of God at any stage of later life. And that is why sometimes, if you see in the commentary to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that sometimes these demons, they are killed. They are killed. Or like Ravana is killed, or this Kamsa, or Hiranyakashipu is killed. And he's killed by the Supreme Lord. Because when Krishna descends, and when he's descending, so these people, these demonic people, they also get elevated. And basically, so, nobody is hopeless. Entirely everybody is having some hopes. So the devotees, their mission is to make the unfortunate fortunate, to make their durbhagyavan to bhagyavan. So it is said that Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jivi Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Bij. And how does one person get that particular bij? It is only by Guru Krishna Prasade. So the devotees and our spiritual masters, they are working to make, the most unfortunate souls to fortunate souls. Mam Prapya Konteya. So they are normally, cannot attain Krishna, but Krishna's, when Krishna intervenes, when he confronts a demon by a particular devotee's intervention, then they can. Their downward journey, they are trapped in the lower species, and that lower, Atala, Vital, Sutal, Patal, their lower lokas, then that will be checked. And they will be able to attain Krishna. So even if you see in the Mrigari, Mrigari story, Mrigari was supposed to go to hell because more down. But how did Narad Muni come and intervene? How did Narad Muni come and make Mrigari from a demonic mentality to a pure devotee? That only, the pure devotees and Krishna can do. And Srila Prabhupada asked this, that is hell, somebody asked Prabhupada that, is that what hell is eternal? And Srila Prabhupada said that nothing other than ecstatic devotional service to Krishna is eternal. So everything is temporary. So all these miseries of this world are also temporary. Ultimately, only bhakti to Krishna is permanent and or eternal. So that is the eternal reality to which Krishna is talking. He wants to actually take us And many times we must have seen, person eating non-veg, person, is like a atankvadi. But that person also, he takes up to Krishna consciousness by that intervention of Krishna and his devotees. And in the history also, we have seen so many demonic people have become devotees, right? So in that sense, Krishna is saying that I put them into the lower species so that they realize that this is a hellish place. I want to get out of this. I want to get out of that suffering. That suffering only comes so that हमारी अकल ठिकाने आ जाए. Sometimes, our chetana or our consciousness is actually abducted. Or it is, usko Marathi में we call it zapat lela. It is abducted by many other things. But now to bring that back, we need to actually take up to devotional service very seriously. Okay, let's go to the next shloka. So, with that, what Krishna is actually speaking in the 20th shloka, that they are, singing down to the lower status of life, and they are put into the repeated species of birth and death and demonic species. These people can never approach me. So then he's giving the definition of hell over here, or how to give up that demonic tendency if a person has those demonic tendencies. Damba, mana, mada, all these things, if somebody has, or somebody has ahankara, somebody has darpam, all these demonic things, how can I give up these tendencies and follow the scriptures? So now he is giving us the 3 gates to hell. How does a person reach over there? What are those 3 gates to hell? He's saying that त्रिविधं नरकास्यध्येदं द्वारं नाशम आत्मना काम क्रोधस्तथा लोभस्तस्माद् एतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्. There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, greed, and anger. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Krishna is asking to give up this. So now Krishna will actually tell us that it is not the, uh, personal, personal, he's telling, because of which, or it is not something of his personal, what is that word called? He does not take it personally. And because he does not take it personally, it's not that because he took it personally that, oh, he's a demonic person and I'm going to take it personally, and that is why I'm going to put him down into, a hell. And it's not because of his personal some agenda, or he has taken it very personally that he's throwing them into the, gates of hell. So, vidham, using 3 means 3. And he's saying that narka is hell. And dwaram nasham atmanaha. These 3 vidham, abhi jo aayega, what are those 3? Kama, krodha, tatha, lobh. They are the door to the destruction of the soul. नाशनम आत्मा, आत्मा को नाश करने वाला है ये 3 चीजें. क्या है? काम, क्रोध और लोभ. So तस्मात् एतत् त्रयम त्यजेत, and that is why तस्मात, that is why, क्या करना चाहिए इसको? त्याग देना चाहिए. We should give up. So there are, several significant points, and there are some dual metaphors also. Like when you say dwaram, dwaram means what? Door, right? Or here Prabhupada is translated as gate. And when you say door means, okay, you come and go, I can go out in the room and I can enter the room also. And when we are consumed by these three things, that consumption becomes the pathway by which we can go to hell. Kam, Krodh, and Lobha. Again and again, if somebody is practicing this, then it becomes a pathway. एक जैसे हम खुद ही एक टनल बना रहे हैं अपने नर्क जाने के लिए. We ourselves are preparing a very big tunnel, a pathway to go to hell. So if you see, so many advertisements nowadays, are injecting this lust, anger, greed into us. And each of these advertisements, they are becoming as a gate to hell. It becomes so much that instead of people going to hell, now hell is coming to people. Which means that all these hellish conditions are created around me only over here. And if you see, sometimes, if you see wherever there are, people coming up or they are having their own settlements, right? So there will be a school coming up, there will be a college coming up, or there will be a temple coming up or something. And with that, there will be, brothels also, and there will be intoxication, clubs also coming up over there, because they're saying that these are our potent customers. So the way to leave these things are something higher is needed to come out of these things. And where will we get help from to come out of these things is actually we'll have to look into the Vedas or the scriptures. And the scriptures is talking about, which actually Krishna will also talk about little later, but Krishna is telling that one has to be careful. सतर्क रहना बहुत जरूरी है, वरना क्या हो जाएगा, इस जाल में हम फंस जाएंगे. We will be trapped into this jal of lust, greed, and anger. So this dwara is like a metaphor of, you can say, mentality. एक मेरी मेंटालिटी भी है ना कि मेरे में काम है, क्रोध है और मोह भी है. So it's like, lag, lust, anger, and greed. And this is, the cause. It is causing the soul to lag behind. And the soul cannot move forward. It is held behind. Lagging is like, lagging behind. कहाँ वो पीछे रह रहा है? जो उसकी यात्रा है, where he has to move ahead, or he's lagging behind in his journey towards Krishna. So his mentality, instead of taking him higher, his mentality is taking him lower. आगे जाने के बजाय, गाड़ी आगे जाने के बजाय उसको पीछे रिवर्स में लेके जा रही है, और is taking behind. So Nashanam Atmana is also a metaphor. And Krishna, if you remember, in the second chapter is saying Avinashi tu tad vidhi. And he is calling, Atam as Avinashi. Atma is Avinashi. This Atma is not it cannot be destroyed, or it is a non-destructible thing. So if it is Avinashi, then how it is called Nashanam Atmanah? आत्मा को कैसे ये नाश कर सकता है? So over here, when Krishna is saying Nashanam, he's saying that nash of that spiritual inclination of that soul. The soul's inherent inclination is to serve Krishna. लेकिन अब ये क्या कर रहा है, ये काम क्रोध और लोभ क्या कर रहा है, ये जो हमारी सेवा करने की वृत्ति है, my inclination to serve the Supreme Lord, it is actually destroying that only. ये एक बड़ा बोफोर्स बॉम्ब है जो it is hitting straight onto my relationship with Krishna, a big wall between me and Krishna. So that is why he's saying tasmat etat trayam tyaje. Therefore, please give up these three. And that is why, Prabhupada is saying that in this purport, a sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demonic life must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement. So, no possible doesn't mean that permanently it is not possible. It means that till the time the soul is coming himself to lust, greed and anger, till that time it is not possible. अगर उसमें काम का opposite प्रेम, if he has prem for the Lord, and anger का opposite is what? अरे अभी anger नो opposite શું છે? हाँ, to anger का opposite is he has to become shant, or he has to calm down. Calming down in his desires. काम एषा क्रोध एषा रजोगुण समुद्भव. काम वासना होगी तो ही क्रोध आएगा, और क्रोध आएगा तो लोभ भी बढ़ता रहेगा. So the moment he will have his prema towards the Supreme Lord, then he will not have anger. He will have compassion. And when he will have compassion, he will not have greed. He will have udarta, he will have a magnanimous nature of giving and not of taking. He will be in the mood of giving. So that is why once a person will take shelter of Krishna, then these things will automatically subside down. And his higher nature to serve the Supreme Lord will come out very nicely. So, okay. Let's go to the next shloka. 22. So these are such intense shlokas. So, okay. Now Krishna is telling that somebody who bypasses these three gates, जिसने इन तीन द्वारों से मुक्ति पाली, मतलब वो द्वार बनाता ही नहीं है. He does not make only that pathway of lust, greed and anger. He does not go to hell. Then exactly what happens? He says that एतर्वमुक्त कौन्तेय तमो द्वारे स्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरति आत्मना श्रेयस ततो याति परम गतिम. The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. So, three gates is Kam, Krodh and Lobha. Opposite to that, if he is, performing some activities that are conducive to self-realization, if he is trying to develop his relationship with Krishna, काम है तो प्रेम है ना, ये काम ही जो है, काम is for those things which are matter, but prem is for that thing which is spirit, right? So then these are some acts for self-realization. And then what is he saying? That eter vimukte, after being independent of this, independent of Kam, Krodh and Lobh, and then he's saying Tamo dware stribir naraha. the doors to darkness of ignorance. Now, Ajrati, this person acts in a way. In what way he acts? Atmanaha Shreyas. Whatever is Shreyas or whatever is good for my Atma, or whatever is beneficial for my Atma, मैं वही कार्य करूंगा. I will do the same. I will do only those activities which is beneficial or which is for the well-being of my soul. So, on a spiritual path, sometimes, often we are actually our greatest enemy. Sometimes. Means what? Sometimes I act in such a way which is actually self-defeating and self-destructing. So that, that can be seen in my very gross level also of behavior. When somebody is, smoking, somebody is drinking at the grossest level, sometimes people even commit suicide. So by this lust, anger and greed, I'm harming, or people are harming themselves also spiritually and materially. So Krishna is saying that Tyajeta. In the previous verse, he has used this word, Tyajeta. And here he is saying that Vimukta. Why is he saying Vimukta? He is saying giving up. Right? Giving them up, give them up, which means that it is possible to become free from these Kam, Krodh, Lobh. And these Kam, Krodh, Lobh, they are actually like ghost haunting a person. And then that person, I previously told कि उसको एकदम abduct कर दिया है, उसको झपाट ले लिया है, उसको पूरा वश में कर लिया है. So when I become free from them, then I have clarity in my mind. I can think very clearly. Till the time I have lust, greed and anger, I will not have clarity about spirituality. So when he's saying Achriti Atmana Shreyas, when I become free from, Kam, Krodh and Lobh, then I can act in, the pursuance of my own self-interest. And then I can perceive what is good for me. So, tato yati param gatim. And then that is why I will attain that supreme destination. So, that is, if you see Prabhupada's purport, what is he saying that? He's saying about Varnashram, the caste system. The Vedic system, they for 4 orders of life, and the 4 stages of life are called the caste system and the spiritual order system. Varna and ashram. There are different rules and regulations for different castes or divisions of society, and a person is able to follow them. He will be able to automatically rise to the highest platform of spiritual realization. Then he can have liberation without doubt. And that is why very important for us to remain in that particular Varna and ashram and act accordingly. But now, these people who have lust, greed and anger, what is the main problem with these people is that they do not follow scriptures. They disregard the scriptures. And because they disregard the scriptures, they do not have neither happiness nor liberation. So he's saying over here that यह शास्त्र विधिम उत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिं नाप्नोति न सुखम न पराम गतिम. He says, he who disregards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. And he's saying that, see, he's disregarding the scriptures. So, yah shastra vidhim utrajya. And because he's, one who is utrajya means he gives up, he rejects. And one gives up that vidhi of shastra. Means what he's rejecting. it's, he neglects it. Then we have to act. And how we have to act? Then he's saying, Vartate kama karatah. So when he's saying Vartate kama karatah, one has to act because of that selfish desire. Na siddhim, na sa siddhim apnoti. The person will not attain perfection and he will not have sukham also. Na sukham, na param gatim. So one will not attain even the supreme destination. So if somebody is too much impelled by lust, lust cannot think about long-term perfection. लंबा गोल जो है वो नहीं attain कर पाएगा. Will not be able to attain that long-term perfection. Because why? This lust is actually covering my inert spiritual nature. And because it is covering my spiritual nature, then there is no question only of Param Gatim. This lust will always keep me dissatisfied. And it will keep me, dissatisfied in a way like, there is a fire. Okay. And in that fire, if I, or lust is, or that fire is like some habit that I have formed. And that habit ko, us fire ko I'm fueling. I'm indulging myself more and more in intoxication or gambling or any activity. So what is happening is that fire is being fueled by whatever I'm indulging into. और फिर वो fire और प्रज्वलित होते जाती है. It keeps on, blazing more and more. And so that is why, because it is blazing more and more, then I have no sukh. I'm not getting any happiness. I'm not getting any, siddhim also. No sa siddhim, no perfection. I'm not getting any perfection in any activity that I'm doing. And see, siddhi, when over here, Prabhupada is saying siddhi means perfection, right? So perfection, there are, different kinds of perfection, material or yogic or spiritual perfections are also there. But lust will make a person difficult to achieve anything. Even if a person, has some sports or, he's into sports, there are also a person who has to control his selfish desires in that sporting activity also. So a person has to be fit to be energetic and he has to eat in a regulated way. He has to act in a regulated way. He has to be disciplined, and that discipline is more important for success in any field. If I will just eat whatever I want to eat, then I won't have that particular, strength. Like, for example, if somebody has to play badminton, he has to act in a regulated way. His sleep time, his wake up time, his eating time, his strength training time, everything has to be regulated. So this unregulated desire will not allow a person to do anything properly. Wait a second. Sorry, my students thought that today we have classes and they came up at my home. But it was a holiday today. So where were we? Regulation. So discipline is very important for, success in life. So now if I have an unregulated desire, and this unregulated desire will not allow me to do anything properly. That is why even in our Vedic culture, uh, uh, they keep boys and girls separate, because when a boy and girl are together, then they get obsessed thoughts about each other, and it becomes very difficult for them to focus on anything higher, like studies, right? So if you remember, some time back we had girls school different, boys school different, and those girls who studied only in girls school, they could really do something higher with their life. Or those boys who studied only in a boys school, they were also able to achieve something more higher, so something like a higher study, like being a IIT, this, that, and all. So this is one example of kama karatah, how kama can distract a person, and how Shastra Vidyam is the injunction of the scriptures. When one gives up, one acts according to lust. So we should not be acting whimsically. This is what he's trying to say over here. So we have one last shloka of this chapter. Let's go to that shloka and we'll wind up with that. Okay. So then, somebody might say, तो why should I follow scriptures? Scriptures में ऐसे क्या है कि I should follow, है ना? And what will happen if I follow the scriptures? So, he says that tasmacha shastram pramanam te karya vyavasthito gyatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartum iharsi karma kartum iharsashi. So he says that one should therefore understand what is duty, what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि मेरी ड्यूटी क्या है और मेरी ड्यूटी क्या नहीं है? So we'll know it through the Shastras. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So he says that Tasmat, therefore Shastram Pramanam. So according to the Shastra Pramanam, according to the decision which even the scriptures are making, Karya akarya vyavasthato. One should decide properly what work I should be doing, or what activity I should be doing, and what activity I should not be doing. Vyavasthito. And that is why, if we take the shelter of the scriptures and when we act accordingly, then one understands it. And then it will help him to act properly. And then when he's acting properly, then what happens? Gyatva Shastra Vidhana Uktam. After knowing what is, what our scriptures are, and when I study the scriptures, I will know what I have to do, what I don't have to do. Then, after knowing what is Shastra, Vidhanoktam, what is spoken in the Shastras, then what will happen? Karma kartum iha arhasi. Then I will act accordingly. I have guidelines in the Shastras that I have to act in this particular way. So then I'll act, and when I'll act accordingly, it will benefit me only to act according to the scriptures. Iha arhasi. So when I say iha arhasi, it will benefit me. So why it is so? Sometimes, somebody might ask that why is it so important to act according to the Shastras? So you can say that these Shastras are a guideline for us, or it is a guidance for me to choose what actions I'm supposed to do. Sometimes, people act according to moods, people act according to fashion, People act according to traditions. People act according to logic also. But when people act according to mood, like they feel that, okay, I feel like doing this, I feel like doing that. That feeling may be misleading also. Like, for example, I have an examination tomorrow, and then I'll say, no, I feel like watching the television. I want to go for a movie, you know. And after the examination, then what will happen? I will feel like beating up myself. Why? Because I wasted that time of my studies, and I wasted that important time of my studies, and now I'm not able to answer my examinations properly. So then I feel, Arey, what did I do? Why did I go for that particular movie? So he's acting according to me. Sometimes people are acting according to even fashion. Sab log kya kar rahe hai? Everybody is, following this fashion. This is the latest fashion. And so when you say fashion, everyone is doing that currently. But when we say fashions are not on the basis of truth and reality, they are just a trend. They will come and they will go. You have seen in previous, like in the 1970s, there was some fashion. You can say commonest clothing fashion was there, or how people used to live also, right? But now, if you see in the current times, 2025 May, the whole thing has changed, right? And sometimes people live as per fashion, and we are like, leaves, whichever way the wind is blowing, we get carried away. No, yeah, I will live according to this fashion only, and I will, have my car in this way only, BMW. But the other car is also surprising. An ambassador or a BMW. Both are actually doing only one thing, carrying one person from one place to another. So somebody will say, no, no need to be fashionable deliberately. But action should be based on some very higher principles also. So they are, these people act according to fashion. Sometimes people act even according to tradition. हमने हमेशा यही किया है, पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी, ancestors by ancestors, we have done this only. So a tradition also itself is not necessary that parameter of truth, because there can be so many traditions which are wrong, right? Like Western world is eating meat, and that is a tradition for them. Or some people's tradition is that on particular day they have to cut a particular goat and eat. That is a tradition, which is like very harmful. And then some people act according to logic also. It makes sense. Logic seems to be more sensible. Some logical parameters they will apply, among them, and then. So again, logic is also not very sound, because logic can also mislead me. Because sometimes we may have some incomplete understanding of that particular thing, and something may seem right at one moment, but at the next moment it may seem wrong also. So what we need for our guidance is the Shastras. Shastras are like a lighthouse. You have seen a lighthouse? It will tell, okay, this direction you have to go. And others may also seem like a lighthouse, but these lighthouses are moving. Lighthouses are supposed to be fixed so that they can indicate that this side is safer than the other side. And it is dangerous over there. It is safe over here. So the Shastras are actually, guiding us like a lighthouse. So, but if the lighthouse is only moving, itself, and if the lighthouse is self moving, then the part we consider was safe will turn out to be rocky. So that is why we can consider, other factors also for making a, decision. But the Scriptures should be our final authority. If a particular situation comes, then what do the Shastras say? And if we don't know, then we can approach the sadhus. We can approach Guru. So, Shastras without 4 principles, the defects that are, visible in the conditioned soul, because we have imperfect senses and, we have propensity to cheat and commit mistakes and we are illusioned also. So, these senses, illusion, mistakes, cheating, these are the 4 principal defects in the conditioned life. And that is why they are disqualifying me from putting any 4th rules and regulations. And that is why rules and regulations are described in the Shastras. And these rules and regulations, they are above the defects. The Shastras are above any defect. And they are accepted without any alteration by all the acharyas, all the great souls, all the great saints. So that is why in human society also, this aversion to the principles of understanding the Supreme Lord is the, cause of all that fall down. Of course, there might be some other reasons also, but this is the prime reason. And Krishna is saying that this is a wide, gamut of this typical physiologies of this demonic people. And of course, we'll see that what is their next destination of these demonic people? Where will they go? So with that, I will halt for the day. And if anybody has any queries, questions, doubts, you can ask me.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes.
Mataji, when we are discussing 16.20, you said that going to hell is actually beneficiary. It benefits actually. In what way, Mataji? Because already when we commit sins, we are thrown to hell, and from there we'll go to other lives which are miserable, maybe, or which are not suitable for bhakti.
So going to hell means only in hell there is a lot of suffering. Lot of suffering is there in the hell. Now that person comes to his senses that why am I suffering so much? What is the root cause of my suffering? Let me find out. He actually goes in that mode that no, I don't want to suffer anymore. Krishna, please help me. Or if there is any power, please help me to get out of this situation. When he is seeking help, at that point of time, he is, coming to his senses that no, I'm suffering. Even here also on the, on the earth planet also, somebody is very much suffering. बहुत ज़्यादा suffering कर रहा है. He says that, no, I don't want this suffering now. I want to get out of this suffering. The moment he says that, I need some help to get out of this suffering, immediately Krishna sends Guru. And when Krishna sends Guru, Hari Bhakti, this is too much hitting to my eyes. Right. Curtain lagai de, please. In between. So, where was it? When he is seeking help, then Guru, Sadhu, and Guru and Sadhu come for his rescue. And he understands that, no, okay, the final shanti that I will give from this suffering is actually taking the shelter of the Lord. And that's how, over there also, in hell also, he will get his realizations. Through those sufferings, Krishna is giving that realization that if you don't, then you will have to keep on suffering and on and on and on and on and on. But to cut that, then he has to take the shelter of.
At least in next life, he'll be.
No, even in that same life, if he calls.
After going to hell.
In hell also we have Yamraj as a Mahajan, no? He's there now to rescue. And Narad Muni is also there, moving in 14 planets. So Krishna sends such pure souls for rescuing. Yamraj in himself is there to rescue. As
I'm
such.
clarifying for myself, Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, you are not going over there. For sure, you are not going over there. 101% you are not going over there. You will go to higher planets, but not to lower. For sure, no lower.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I can guarantee. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada, I can guarantee. On behalf of the spiritual authorities, I can guarantee. If somebody else has any question? Okay, if nobody has any question, we'll call for the day. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrind, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. We'll meet
Jai.
next Saturday.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hello, Pranam.